Hello everybody, it's Oak Tree Tarot teacher here for you. Yes, today I am your teacher of tarot. For my regular audience, my subscribers, the people that perhaps look me up, don't worry, you know, I've not said no, never doing a pick a card video ever again, but I'm going to take a short break from pick a card videos. I suppose it's sort of a bit of pick a card fatigue. I've been I enjoy them, but I've been sort of struggling for ideas to freshen it up and to keep it interesting for me and for you. And my viewer count for my videos is just getting lower and lower and lower. So I feel it's time for me to actually do something that I've been thinking about for quite some time, that I've already started to explore, and that is actually sharing my knowledge regarding tarot. And it's sort of also a continuation and a documentation of my attempts to be a good tarot reader that's good for my customers and the people that I try to help with through tarot reading. Today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we're going to be looking at the Fool card. But what I am also going to do within that is the occasional video where we look at a particular area of tarot reading and maybe actually doing a tarot reading and all that kind of things. This is a continuation really of my work through my book, Learn Tarot, Learn the Cards and How to Read Them. The link is in the description box for you to find it on Amazon. So if you want to go ahead and click and buy that, you can. It's $3.99 here in the UK, and I think it's $3.99 in American dollars. But if you just click on the link, Amazon will work that out for you in your local Amazon, and you can read the book and continue on with your own notes. I mean, I would recommend you get a notepad to make notes, and also any questions that might just suddenly pop up for you during this video, please put them in the comments section. I will be regularly checking the comments and I will answer them. And if there's anything there that seems like, no, a couple of sentences in the comment section isn't going to cut it, I will let you know, and we will have a video where we do something on that theme, or we have a Q&A video where I actually answer the questions in more detail. And I'm more than willing for us to have discussions about these things, maybe do a live stream at some point where we can just have that happen sort of live, where you can write me questions and do anything. So yeah, I'm going to take this as my journey for a while. I will do pick a card videos because I might suddenly get an urge, you know, to do a pick a card video, in which case I will follow it. But no, I feel the need for a bit of change, and I think this is a good sort of point because I'm coming to the end of 2021 from my perspective. So the end of 2021, oh, it's 2020, isn't it? I'm just glad to be getting to the end of 2020 and into 2021 and to do something new, and teaching you about tarot reading is a part of that. So obviously I want to start off with the Fool. What I've decided to do is I've got multiple different decks, and you're going to see them regularly throughout these videos, but I've chosen these four for today to show you their Fool cards. I'll turn them over in a minute. But before I do that, what I want you to do in your notepad, or just thinking in your own mind, and please press pause if you want more time to do that. But what I want you to do is to think about the Fool, what you know of the Fool. And it doesn't matter whether you've done tarot for 2 minutes or for 20 years. Just think about the Fool, make a few notes, brainstorm it, just do bullet points or write sentences, whatever's for you, whatever feels good for you. Write about what you think the Fool means, what you've read about the Fool, what your experiences during tarot readings tell you about the Fool. Right, I'm going to assume you pressed pause to do that if you didn't press pause now, because I'm going to be now flipping them over and we're going to go into what I feel and think and what I've experienced and learned about the Fool. So first things first, the first deck we have is the traditional, this is the Universal Rider-Waite Tarot. I'll put the link actually to these tarot decks in the description box so you can find them. And that is a very familiar picture of the Fool. He's there, he's got his bag on his shoulder, he's got his little doggy pin, and he's just got these white roses, and he's just off, he's just going off. We also have the Gilded Tarot, their Fool. He's got all the horoscopes, the astrological signs flowing from one hand to the other. And he's got around his ankle the Jester's hoop and, I've forgotten what it's called, that. Oh, I think of it like a sceptre, but it's not called that, and I forgot. It's the Fool's stick or something. And he does very much look like a court jester. And that's sort of a theme in that deck. Next we have the Shadowscapes Tarot. It's very pretty and spiritual. This Fool is a lady. And she's surrounded by flowers, bees, butterflies, birdies and a fox. But still got that symbolic, free, floating, lack of baggage, no restraints, nothing weighing them down. And we here have the Wildwood Tarot, one of my absolute favourite decks. I adore this deck. We've got not the Fool, but the Wanderer. Completely different name. The Wanderer. And we don't see who they are, but again, it's still that symbolic. Setting off, about to take a leap into the great unknown. Wearing little better than rags, completely unencumbered. And I think actually each of these gives you something about the Fool. And that is that the Fool is freedom. It's freedom from everything. It's the beginning of the journey. And it doesn't mean like being a newborn. It can be in a sense that you've left one cycle of your life and you're moving on to another. But you've finished everything you needed to finish. You've learnt the lessons you needed to learn. You don't need to deal with what you went through in that phase. You may be in a phase of healing, but really the healing is over. This is the point when, the toxic relationships ended. You've got rid of them out of your life. It was hard work. It maybe even took years. But you got rid of them out of your life and you've healed from the rubbish that you went through. In that relationship, you've learned to love yourself again. You've learned to be feeling free. You've learned to let go of the negativity that this relationship brought into you. And you're finally free of this bad relationship. And you're ready to just be yourself. Maybe find someone new to love. But if nothing else, just to embrace the day and to love the life that you have, knowing that the weight is off your shoulders. And this is what it amplifies for me. All four of these cards show that moment of utter freedom where you're not frightened anymore. You're not frightened of what the future may hold. You're not frightened of what the past has done to you. You love yourself. You have accepted what has happened and you've grown from it. Yeah, it's changed you. But trust me, everything changes you. You never stay completely the same from the day you become an adult to the day you die. You constantly transform and grow. But the Fool or the Wanderer, which I think is a really good way of putting it, that it is showing you that moment of utter freedom where you realise the past does not hold you back and the future is unknown and you're not frightened of that anymore. It's new beginnings. It's weightlessness. It can be just a few seconds in your life, or it can be the attitude that you take forward for the rest of your life. Freedom. You're going to start something new. You may have an idea what this new journey is. You may be, I'm going to apply for college or university and I'm going to pursue that degree that I've always wanted to. I don't know where it will take me. I don't know exactly how hard it will be. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I am going to go ahead and do it. And and it doesn't matter what career I get at the end of it, but I'm going to pursue that dream. It could be a dream to go on backpacking for a year, travelling the world. Doesn't matter what it is, but the point is that you've accepted that you've accepted that you can't control it. You can't control the outcome and you're not frightened of that anymore. And in which case you're truly free. It's about truly living in the moment. And that's, for me, is the Fool. Being unafraid, willing to move forward and with a light heart and leaving behind all the rubbish that that drags you back and holds you back. because the Fool, you know, always has their bag. I know they haven't here, but the Fool still has their little bag on a stick, and that's the things that they need. Those are the life lessons that are good. The maturity that you have grown, the sort of wisdom that you have acquired, and you're still carrying that wisdom and that knowledge and those resources with you, even though you're ready to move forward and enjoy the sunshine and just smell the roses. So don't think for a moment that when the Fool card comes up for you as perhaps a process or as a part of your life's journey, that you have to sort of abandon all your old friends, the job that you love, or the house that you love, or the city that you adore living in. It's not saying, okay, cut off everything, it's dead, gone, move on into, abandon your identity, buy a false passport. It's not saying that. It's just saying letting go of the stuff that's not helpful to you. You've outgrown it. It's holding you back, and you let go of that, and then you fly free. And I like the name The Wanderer for it, because I feel that's what it is. It's about being willing to wander the world and wander your life, wander through your life and allow things to come into your life and leave it freely, without prejudice, without resentment, without any negativity attached to it. It's very much a card as well of hope, but it's not a card that I would say, oh, this means hope, because I think Star does that very well. This is a card of, I suppose in a way, expectation without expectation. You expect that you'll be all right at the end of it. You're safe in the knowledge that you're going to be all right at the end of it. Yeah. Tell me what you think in the comment section, because now what we're going to be moving, and as well let me know what you think about the different ways that they've portrayed this card, because I do believe wholeheartedly that they all say the same thing. But let me know, for me and the other people that read the comments, what you think about the Fool, and what maybe this has given you food for thought, hopefully, and anything that you've observed. Because what I'm going to be moving on is to how the card relates to you as a person, but also perhaps what another person is like, because you can do that with tarot. Tarot is a fine line, and I think I'll say this in every single video because I think this is important. Tarot is really about you. It's about your spiritual journey. Yeah, we can do a bit of fortune telling, I said, but it's so flexible that, you know, it is really just for fun and entertainment. And sometimes a nice fortune-telling tarot reading gives you the inspiration to go for what you want and gives you the courage, and that's the purpose of the message. But when it comes to other people, it's incredibly hard to do a reading on another person that hasn't given consent. If you contact me for a private reading, you're giving me consent to answer your question, to access what what you're looking for, to give you the message about what you need to do to develop yourself spiritually or to get through this period in your life. But if you're like saying, oh, I want you to do a tarot reading on my ex or on my boss, what does my boss, I would sort of say, well, you can't really do that. What I can do is say, what can you do to please your boss? Is there anything that they're looking for from you? And I would do it that way, because they haven't given me permission to do a tarot reading on them. And so when you're looking at doing a tarot card, about another person, what you're doing is you're sort of getting their avatar, their emblem at that moment of time in their life, and sort of how your energy connects to them. So if we shuffle a card and you're saying, this new person on the scene, I'm not unsure of their motivations. What do they mean towards me? What do I need to know about them in order to move forward, to get a satisfactory conclusion in our relationship? So this might be a new employer, or somebody that you might be considering employing, or just somebody that you've come in contact with, and you're just going to ask the tarot, what do I need to know about this person? How should I approach them? How should I regard them? And the Fool card pops out, and it's going to say to you what I've sort of said about this process, that they are somebody that is going through their life on a brand new journey. They probably have the attitude of being unafraid to walk away. They are somebody that's not afraid to let the past go and move on to something new, even leaving you behind if they have to, for their own betterment, their own well-being. This is somebody that can be childlike, and maybe even a bit childish, in that They're excited by the world, they're excited by new discoveries. Again, they're unafraid of taking risks and taking chances. They live in the expectation that things are going to work out well, but they're not afraid if things don't work out well. For all that they come across as somebody that is, was born yesterday, they haven't. They probably have been through quite a journey, and perhaps even several journeys where things have not gone the way they thought they would. It takes a lot of experience to get to the full journey. It really does. And this is why sometimes it's not at the beginning of the deck, it's actually after the World card in the Major Arcana. Some decks put the Magician first and put it through to 21, which is the World card, and then they put the Fool or the Wanderer, because it's about going through all that journey and then coming at a brand new point where you can go on and have a new experience of life. The Fool is not necessarily young, is not necessarily inexperienced, but in fact is most likely to be very experienced, to have actually gone through an awful lot in their life, no matter what their age, but they haven't let it beat them down. They haven't let it destroy them. They haven't let it destroy their hope that the world is a beautiful place, their experiences of the world and people as wonderful and exciting. They can still laugh, they can still have fun. Yeah, they're going to have their bad points like the rest of us, they're going to have their dark nights of the soul, but the more important thing is that they get out of them and they come back bouncing and ready to be open-eyed and hopeful for the future and willing to experience new things, because they know they'll survive. This is someone that's a survivor. And this is good about this card, is that they're wearing rags. They've got nothing on their feet. They've just got like 2 wristbands really. But they're going to go off and have abundance. They're going to go off and start the journey again and go into the Magician and manifest the life that they want. And they can do that because they can clear themselves of true expectations really of negativity. They're not going to expect to fail. They assume they're going to succeed, but they can cope with the hiccups on the way before that complete victory that they get. Sometimes in aspects of the Fool, the person can come across as a bit naive, and this is because they may be somebody that lives in their own world. So this is somebody that daydreams a lot. This is somebody that can really sit there and daydream and fantasise and go and say, oh, ignore the fact that they've just walked in a big clump cow pat or a clump of poo, and just say, isn't it a wonderful morning? The sun is shining. Is that a rainbow? And they're completely missed the fact that the dog's barking at them because they've walked in a cow pat, or they're walking into the field where the bull is. So there is this sense that they're so in love with life and in love with the opportunities, and they're so feeling so free and liberated really, and lacking, as I say, in baggage, that they can just be caught up a bit, not completely. They can be still very, very wise and experienced, as explained before, but they can come across as somebody that's in their own little world. But what they've decided to do is to focus on the things that can improve their life. They're not going to dwell on the things that don't improve their life. And this is why I always say it's good, we have a little bit of the Fool in all of us at some point in our life. But some people manage to exist within that energy. But at some point you will have your Fool moment. And I think actually more than once and in different areas. You can be very, very confident in your job, in your experiences. You're the top of the game. You're going to end up being the boss of the company one day, or the regional manager or something, and you're just absolute competence. But when it comes to your love life, it's a bit of a disaster area, but you're always going into it without letting past relationships drag you down. You're always hopeful that you're going to meet the right person and have a stable family life, or the life that you want in terms of your love life, and you never let it drag you down, and you still always get back up and back into the saddle. So it can be just in certain areas of your life that you have a Fool-like energy. And then perhaps like with your working life, you're a bit more King of Swords, a bit more hardline, follow the rules, do as I say. Yeah, so everybody has sort of different qualities within themselves and goes through different experiences in life. And this is why it's sort of like doing tarot readings on other people is basically impossible. It's quite difficult to do tarot readings on yourself. We can discuss that in a video if you'd like. But it's basically impossible as well, because there's always sort of expectations and desires that sort of burden a reading, which is why I always say clear your mind and meditate on the question, but clear your mind and let go of any fears or desires that you may have surrounding your tarot question. And this person would easily be able to do that because they've gone through that process, and they've learned to distance themselves sort of mentally and emotionally from the things. You know, they don't deny failure or ignore failure, but they think, okay, that's just part of the process and I'm going to move on. I'm not going to let it stop me. Oh gosh, 20 minutes already. I wanted to spend about 20 minutes on each video, but I've sort of done a bit of an introduction here, so I will forgive myself. I think, is there anything else I wanted to say? No, I really wanted to cover the card and about people within the card. Yeah, let me know in the comment section what else would you like me to discuss when I discuss cards. Is there anything else that you'd like me to cover? Have a look through your tarot decks if you've got multiple tarot decks. Because there's just, I mean, I've got so many. And this is the beginning of my journey, of my full journey. And I have every expectation this is going to work out brilliantly. Am I going to find it? And I'm not going to go through any more cards. I was thinking about maybe I could pull some of the cards out. Would you like me to have more than 4 cards? You know, because the next, obviously, we're going to do the Magician. Would you like me to have more cards, like 6 or 8 cards of different Magician ones? Let me know. Is 20 minutes long enough, or is that too long? Would you like something more like a 15-minute video? Because I'm more than happy to do that. Give me advice, and I shall see if I can comply. But yeah, that's the Fool, the beginning of our journey doing Learn Tarot, and the beginning, technically, of the tarot deck, unless you're more of a, yes, it makes more sense to have it after the World. And there is a logic to it. I really do think actually having it after the World is a really good position. But that's where I'm going to leave you. Oak Tree Tarot Teacher leaves you here. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments section. I hope that it's helped you and that it's given you lots of food for thought, and that you've managed to make an awful lot of very nice notes on the Fool card. So if you're new to my videos, and in fact this is an old video and I've actually managed to complete the tarot journey, please go into the playlist that this will be included in and work your way through the videos and see exactly how it panned out, because for me it's yet to be done, but for you it may be completed. So thank you for listening to me. You please take very good care of yourself, and goodbye.